I've been paying attention to the paintings in the throne room. There's a couple that stood out to me. This one here above the door. I think this is the port that we left to get here. I think this is like what would be Constantine's home place, right? Constantine on the throne there. And then this one's really fun as well. My best guess is this middle photo is Constantine. And then this would maybe be his father with the darker hair here on the right. And then the left here, his mother. That's my only guess because we've seen her photo and his photo absolutely all over. This one clearly looks like the streets, again, at his hometown where we came from on the mainland, leading towards the port. And this one right above was a noble person's house. We've seen that house set up in a couple of places. Oh, and interestingly enough, a painting on the wall going up in that house are more of these people. These three big people paintings. And then this one's great. This one here has this mystery of like you're on a beach. There's kind of a broken house, two men in cloaks. Could be anyone. And that one right there above the door, that's actually from the marketing material that came out. Breaking the fourth wall here a little bit with this one. That is some of the like, that's some of the art that was used to promote the game, which I think is really cool. They were able to include and get involved with things. This one's obviously a big shot of the island itself. You can see the volcano in the back. The last two, we have this one here, which I haven't pinned down yet. I think it's a shop. I think it's a shop that's selling a thing, but it's a little unclear. And this one is, again, two men in cloaks kind of staring off at a landscape. Could be anyone. I love the mystery of that. The paintings are cool. Kurt said he's got more news about the ghost company. Let's talk to Kurt. Or let's pull a sword in the throne room. Yeehaw. So sorry.
Greenblood, my friend. My contacts have spoken. I was able to discover the location of this infamous Phantom training camp.
Do you still think they should be held accountable?
More than ever. You know that I recruited Rayner. I want to know what kind of hornet's nest I led him into. I want to know what these madmen did. But I fear if I go alone, I might not be able to control myself. And I won't learn anything. I need the help of my best student.
How can I refuse such a request?
The Ghost Regiment is the group that is running some kind of secret off-the-book missions. They're getting paid off the book. They're removing their uniforms' identification markers, and they're getting sent on secret missions to do some really suspicious stuff. And one of Kurt's trainees got killed in one of their missions, and so we're after who's putting these men at great risk and killing recruits. I think we're getting close to this camp location where we think they're hiding out. We haven't found a whole lot of good clues other than Kurt said he knew the location. But we've been out here kind of hunting it down for a while, and it says we're less than 100 meters out. But I'm a little uncertain that the road we're on wraps around the way I think it will. As we're not really on a road, I would consider this more of a game trail than anything else. Someone cut these trees down. That doesn't happen on accident. Wow, someone cut a lot of these trees down. Look at that, some fortifications as well. Hello there, Ghost Regiment. You discovered Ghost Camp. Yeah, see, we're wearing their gear now. Perfect. Let us in.
I was informed of your arrival by my sentinels, but I didn't think it would be you, Kurt.
Rolf, you're the leader of this camp.
Do you two know each other?
We train together. We haven't seen each other in a long time. A very long time.
The world of warriors is very small, Kurt. What brings you here, my old comrade? And who are these people with you? They're not one of us?
My name is Desade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I'm Siora, Donegad, of the Gaiusrad.
These people sure are important. So, what are you doing here?
I've heard things about this place. About this very special camp.
And we wanted to see what it was all about with our own eyes.
That's very nice of you, but visitors aren't welcome in this camp. What goes on here is only the guards' business.
Does the same apply to me?
Listen, Kurt. I can give you and your friends some answers, but only because it's you. Anyway, knowing you as well as I do, I'm aware I'm not going to get rid of you that easily. So, what would you like to know?
Will you tell us about your training?
That's a sensitive topic. Most exercises take place in the field to get the men used to it. The natives' knowledge of the environment gives them as much of an advantage as their magic. But if you want to know more, you should ask my lieutenant instructors.
This is a huge camp for such a secret location. How is it organized?
The main building is reserved for officers and the wounded. The front and rear of the camp are dedicated to combat training. But most exercises take place outside.
Impressive. And how do you manage recruitment?
Only the best come here. Those who have combat experience. Once they arrive, they're separated into 2 squadrons, each led and trained by a lieutenant. But you already know all of this, Kurt. It must bring back memories.
Yes.
What is it you do here? And why is this place kept secret? Even from your comrades in the guard?
The natives have their magic, and we have to train elites to be able to face them. That's what we're doing here. Our role is sensitive, and our location obviously cannot be revealed to the whole island.
Does this man not realize that I'm a Doneigad?
I noticed you're a native, but you're a friend of Kurt's, so I trust you will be discreet.
I see the reason for this kind of training. The Bridge Alliance would be particularly interested in soldiers like these. And yet I've never heard of this elite squadron.
We're still in the early stages of the program. We don't want to rush things. And our leaders demand secrecy. Orders are orders.
Actually, we found out about this camp while we were looking for someone.
A kid I recruited. Raina.
Oh. I didn't know he was one of yours. My condolences. I was told he died in an accident in the harbor.
Don't insult my intelligence, Rolf.
All right. Since you're here, I guess there's no point in lying to you anymore. The accident occurred during a maneuver. It's regrettable, but these things happen, you know?
We've taken up enough of your time, Captain.
I agree, and I have things to do.
I'd like to question your lieutenant instructors, if you don't mind. To ask them about Raina.
You've become a real sap. Fine, but try not to disrupt the day's schedule too much. Goodbye.
I'm sorry, I couldn't contain my anger.
I noticed. Good thing you know this captain so well. I don't think he would have let us investigate otherwise.
I'm not sure it's a good thing, really.
You don't seem to like this man.
Rolf doesn't bring back good memories for me. Lieutenant,
Captain!
my friend here would like to learn more about this camp.
At your orders, Captain. Sir?
What kind of training takes place in your ranks?
Combat in natural settings. Combat against the savages' magic.
I'm very curious about how you train against the magic the natives use.
Now, these are complex, secret maneuvers. I'm very sorry, but I can't tell you anymore.
Can you tell us about your squadron?
The recruits who come here are the best. And in my squadron, they get even better. I don't know what else to tell you. They're disciplined, rigorous, and effective. Exactly what you'd expect from the best soldiers.
Soldier!
Yes, Captain.
At ease. We have some questions for you.
Me?
You look exhausted. Is training that rough here?
Well, it's difficult at first, but you get through it. Taming fatigue. That's the key to it all.
Haven't you ever wanted to stop? You've never doubted your vocation.
I'm not a coward, nor a weakling.
You seem concerned about your comrades. You keep looking at them.
No, not at all.
Are you afraid of what they might think of you?
Absolutely not, Captain. We are all of one mind in this squadron. We are very united.
Since this is such a close-knit squadron, you must have known Raina.
Yes, of course. But he's not part of the squadron any longer. He left.
Really?
I don't know what you're trying to get me to say, Captain. Raina left the squadron because he was sent on a mission. There's nothing more to say.
Sorry, mate, but that's not what happened.
I don't know anything more.
These recruits are clearly scared to let any information slip.
It's as if their life depended on it.
What's interesting is he said, well, he was sent on a mission. As if that clearly means, well, he wasn't coming back. They're not going on regular missions. They're going on the kinds of missions that you don't come back from.
Lieutenant,
Respectfully, Captain.
here is my friend, the legate of the merchant congregation. He would like to ask you a few questions.
At your orders. I'm listening, sires.
How did you become an instructor in this camp?
I have led numerous squadrons before, and I've trained hundreds of recruits on the continent. I worked with Captain Rolf in the past, and when I arrived on the island, he recommended me for this position.
That's very impressive. And I expect that you're familiar with the natives' environment and magic.
Yes, of course.
What kind of training do your men undergo?
I can't go into details, but they learn discipline and to outdo themselves.
You mean to blindly follow orders, even to their death?
But No, Captain.
How do the various squadrons in this camp differ from one another?
The recruits I train are intended to carry out more subtle actions.
Really? What kind?
I teach them how to blend into the background, understand customs, observe, and know when to strike.
That's strange. These skills are normally associated with assassins, rather than soldiers.
We're trying to find out what happened to Rayner, a recruit who trained here.
That name doesn't sound familiar. He must have been in the Shadow Squadron.
The other lieutenant's squadron.
Yes. I'm sorry. Haven't been much use to you. Did something happen to him?
He died. His body was thrown into the harbor to make it look like he drowned.
I guess it was one of your recruits. My condolences, Captain.
We'll question some of your soldiers.
At your orders, but please be quick.
They still want us to talk to the recruits. I feel like we know enough to know that there's something pretty suspicious around here.
Soldier!
Captain,
At ease, soldier.
We'd like to learn more about your training.
I have nothing to say about it, sir.
Really? Go on, it's not a difficult question. What do you do during training?
Is this a test, Captain?
No, it's not a test. You may speak freely.
Well, training is difficult, but we can't complain, Captain.
That's an interesting way to phrase it. You're very united in this squadron. At least, that's what I've been told.
United. You could say that, yes. Until death.
That's rather sinister. Does the name Rayner sound familiar to you?
Yeah. Well, no, not really.
You seem rather hesitant. Afraid of being reprimanded by your lieutenant?
No. Well, not at all. It's just that I can't tell you anything about Recruit Rayner.
Lieutenants! Report.
Captain?
Could you give us a few minutes and take us around the site? I've never been here before, and I'm curious to see what goes on.
I'm not sure if we can, Captain.
We are on duty, Captain.
Right, Lieutenant. Let's go! Are you coming with us?
No, thank you. I'd rather stay here. Take in some fresh air.
As you like. In that case, see you later.
Okay, so Kurt pulled rank. See how ranks everyone here and is with us, putting all of our lives at risk so we can question this recruit with nobody listening.
We need to talk. And don't worry. Kurt will make sure your superior doesn't come this way.
Why are you doing this?
We didn't think you'd say anything as long as she was here.
If you noticed, others will have too. They'll make me pay.
Even more reason to talk. If we have proof, we can take action and close this camp.
Very well.
What's really going on here? We know that Rayner didn't die in an accident.
This is supposed to be a training camp for the Guard's elite. Only the most talented recruits are allowed to join. This is an immense honor, an extraordinary chance. That's what we're told every day.
Tell me about the training you undergo here.
It's more torture than anything else. We're constantly beaten and humiliated, and the slightest complaint only leads to more blows. They even push us to police one another, so we don't dare talk. Whatever the orders, we put our heads down, grit our teeth, and obey.
And they call us barbarians. We could never put our own children through this.
I heard them tell you about the specialist training against the natives in hostile environments. But what they teach us would be more useful for assassins.
As for Rayner, do you know what happened to him?
Yes. One day he just couldn't stand it any longer. He disobeyed orders, he fought back, and people got hurt. That's when things blew up. They summoned him for night training.
What does that entail?
It doesn't have much to do with real training. They call us up for it at the last minute. The weakest serve as punching bags for the others, who are encouraged to beat them. If we refuse, we too become the targets. So we join in and strike. If you're looking to punish Rayner's murderer, you can start with me. We all have his blood on our hands.
Thank you for telling us all of this. You should get back to your comrades.
I hope you can do something. Have this camp closed. Otherwise, I'll soon be as dead as Rayner.
That was truly fascinating.
Captain?
I've seen everything I needed to see. You can leave us.
Yes, Captain.
Shall we go?
Okay, we need to pretend to leave the camp. What do you mean pretend to leave the camp? All right, we're pretending.
Kurt, Willem has spoken.
What did he tell you?
They're humiliated, spy on each other, get bullied. It's essentially torture. Rayner wouldn't stand for these methods. He rebelled and was summoned for night training.
Are you sure he used that term?
Yes, but he told me it's not really training. The recruits are summoned.
And the others beat them, sometimes to death. I know.
You knew about this kind of training?
Yeah, I thought it was a thing of the past. What a monster. How dare he?
Tell me, did you learn anything new?
I scouted out the site. There's two parts of the barracks we should look at more closely. Rolf's quarters and the basement, which they refused to open for me.
You're full of anger, Sengots. Take a deep breath and think. Then tell us your plan.
Let's wait for nightfall. We'll sneak into the camp unseen, search the barracks, the private quarters, and then the basement.
We might also try to find out where this night training takes place.
Yes. I wouldn't want other young recruits to lose their lives tonight. Especially Wilhelm.
I love when the quest objective is find out what's hidden in the basement. Okay, gang. Sure, we brought our Scooby snacks for this one.
Strange. There's no one left in this part of the camp.
Maybe they're in the combat pit behind the barracks. I saw it when I visited the camp. Or they've already left for their night training. Let's find Rolf's office. He surely has the key to the basement.
Night training orders. All recruits are summoned for night training. Should a recruit not attend this training, they will be the subject of next training. Yikes. Go into the basement. Find out what's going on. Well, they've got a great prison cell here. It's got chains, it's got some hay, it's got some walls. I feel like this is a large enough camp with enough. Key to torture chamber, perfect. Captain Rolf, congratulations for your work. You have perfectly fulfilled your mission. Your ghost recruits have already accessed positions close to the governor's. Major Herman has informed me that you have suffered some casualties, but nothing sustainable.
This letter is disturbing, Kurt. It confirms that several deaths have been disguised in order to keep this camp secret. But it says that the recruits trained here have been assigned to governors from different cities. And yet I'm sure that Constantine knows nothing about these elite units. The conclusion of the letter also confirms that the commander is pleased with what's been going on here.
So Torsten knew.
So it seems. Including about the deaths.
He's gone too far. He dishonors us all. Sieglinder was right.
One more glowing note here. Captain Rolf, your recruits have arrived in San Mateus. I would not have expected anything less from one of my best students. I made sure the commander knew what a good job you did in your ghost camp. You too will be a major soon. So Major Herman is clearly involved in this, but we're not really sure. This is bad. Like, this whole organization needs to get swept out, and I don't know how to do that in a way that makes sense. That is, who do you put in charge, right?
This room. What could have happened in here?
I know this smell only too well. Fear, blood.
Captain, we have trained the new recruits as instructed. However, some of them seem to have a hard time with the lack of sleep, so they were sent to the Black Room to be toughened up. We suffered casualties, but the experience was successful. They came out weak, but more cooperative.
These people have turned this place into a site of suffering. It will take years of work to erase its traces.
This document explains a lot. They torture the soldiers to break them. Raynor shows up on this list more than once. He gave them a lot of problems.
Those who resist too much are lynched during night training. Rolf, you'll pay for this.
Kurt, Wilhelm's name was added to tonight's training.
That's the young man who helped us, isn't it? They will probably kill him for it.
We can't let them kill him. We must stop this training immediately.
The risk is that Rolf will ambush us.
If this boy dies because of us, I will never forgive myself.
We need to go arrest Captain Rolf. Oh, boy.
Stop! Soldiers, are you really going to obey these scoundrels? Do I need to remind you of the Guard's motto? Where is your honor?
I won't repeat myself, recruits. Execute these traitors.
Soldiers, listen to your captain. You are the victims of these monsters, and we are here to save you. We surrendered without resistance, to avoid a fight, and to spare your lives.
Well, what do you want us to do? We have orders, and we know what will happen to us if we don't obey.
Enough! To arms! Attack!
Must I remind you what happened to Raynor?
And however many others perished to fuel the ambitions of this camp's leader.
Is this what you were promised when you were recruited?
Maybe not. But this is how one becomes an elite soldier. The best!
Exactly. And no tenderfoot in a silk suit would understand anything about it.
Attack!
Really?
Things are about to get messy.
This is very sad.
You're finally here.
Sorry, Captain. The boy resisted longer than planned.
I hope your troops are ready for a real fight. They just crushed your comrades.
Captain Kurt and these courtiers just decimated a whole squadron.
Don't underestimate them. They were able to beat us. Shut up. Your troops were weak and you're the only one responsible.
What have you done with Wilhelm?
He received the punishment for traitors and insurgents, like Raynor before him.
Kurt, I'm terribly sorry. We should have...
Saved him first. We're responsible for his death.
You're a bleeding heart, Kurt.
What are you talking about?
But you know who's really responsible.
You're right. For Wilhelm! For Raina!
Recruits! Attack!
We went through the basement and found none of them.
Things are about to get...
Will you be all right, Kurt?
Yes. Yes. I'll be fine. I'm just glad to know that this camp won't kill anyone else. What a waste. I can't believe these orders came from the top.
What do you want us to do?
I'll need backup if I really want to put an end to all of this. We must go see Major Sieglinder in New Serene. I need to tell her what was going on here.
Are you sure she wasn't involved?
Her? Never. She's old school. She already held the commander at a distance because she didn't like the direction the guard was headed. He would have sacked her, or worse, if she didn't have so much support within the guard. I should have listened to her.
There's no use brooding over the past. Let's go. We'll go and see her immediately.
Sieglinder, I need to talk to you.
What's the matter, Kurt?
We've just returned from a training camp. A secret camp, where elite soldiers are trained through terror, humiliation, and torture.
Don't tell me that.
Yes. One of my recruits died, and he wasn't the only one. It is designed to create a regiment of assassins.
I am sorry, Kurt. I knew something was wrong, but I never would have thought it'd go that far.
We put an end to it all. We had to. But Torsten allowed it, even encouraged it.
I told you that the commander's ambition would end up leading us astray from the ideals of the Guard, and that we would pay the price for it.
Yes. At the time, I told you you were exaggerating. That he had his reasons.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to speak out, Sieglinder. And reveal the commander's project to the governor of the congregation.
If I were as close to him and his family as you are, I would have done so a long time ago.
I know. I feel so stupid for not having understood Torsten's scheme until now.
You've always been a loyal person, Kurt, and too many loyalties are sometimes hard to reconcile. But Torsten betrayed us all. I'm counting on you to make him pay for it.
Believe me, he won't get away with it. Goodbye, Sieglinder.
Goodbye, Kurt. My men and I stand with you.
I didn't feel like a very satisfying conclusion at all. I just thought there'd be more to it. It seemed like it had all the bones of going somewhere like pretty good. We had a mystery recruit get killed, promising young soldier who personally knew Kurt. We had this cover up with, oh, he drowned. No, he's not drowned. And then we got that note that's like, hey, we've been hiding our coin guard assassin ghost guys places. I don't know. That's just weird. I really just expected more from that. We found their secret camp. We found out they were torturing and killing their recruits for, you know, no reason beyond their sadistic needs, and nothing to show for it. It's just kind of a flat ending. Like, I don't think we missed anything too major. Okay, Petrus wants to talk.
Ah, my child, I'm happy that you are here. I've had an idea that I wish to present to you.
Please do.
I've known the Mother Cardinal for quite some time. She is a formidable woman, gifted and diplomatically skilled. I fear that your cousin might be a little defenseless when dealing with her, and would like to give him a few weapons.
What do you have in mind?
Diplomacy is not only a matter of formal encounters and choreographed etiquette. If we had the means to action more personal leverage, the Mother Cardinal could not manipulate your cousin.
How could we ever find anything of that sort?
Everyone has nasty little secrets, my child. It's our task to discover Cornelia's.
I don't really understand this, but it seems like he's trying to help us, and I don't feel a good reason to try and turn down the help. So we're going to go ahead and follow this plan to get some kind of political capital. See how things unfold. The Cardinal's apartments here. I guess they'll just let us walk right by and start searching. Why not? Excuse us?
Ah, Your Excellency.
Oop.
The Enlightened must have sent you. I would like to ask a favor of you.
I'm listening.
As you may be aware, we suspected this island might be the one St. Lucius wrote about.
Did you?
We did, but let me explain. This island was where St. Matthias lived at the end of his life, and where he founded a perfect community. Some time ago, we created a village which we called Eden, following his example. We chose this place as it seemed to be the closest to the one described in the Holy Scriptures. It is a home to a community of converted islanders, accompanied and guided in their budding faith by our theologians. As you can imagine, it is of the utmost importance to us, all the more so because we discovered some tablets there, which were engraved by our founder.
An extraordinary discovery that confirms your suspicions.
I see you understand. Alas, these tablets were stolen, probably by the islanders who still reject our influence. I know that you are generally well accepted by the natives. That is why I was hoping that you could help us to retrieve what belongs to us.
I suppose I could go to Eden and try and retrieve them.
May the Enlightened assist you in this holy quest, Your Excellency.
Okay, let's ignore that little hoopla. See if we can't bust our way into the living quarters of the most powerful person of one of the 3 powerful factions. Because the ally she stuck us with said go for it. Absolute pigsty. I guess the servants don't get in here. I don't know. Your evidence. We have reorganized the basement. The damage caused by your guest was substantial, and we had to replace the carpets. Okay. Find out what's hidden under the palace. Sure. We found the keys. Key to secret room in palace. Perfect. Okay, we had to dress the whole team up in these vests. And what a great disguise. We'll just leave on our merchant cloak, our swords, our faces. No worries. Get it done. In the basement with our disguises. Nothing to see here, old boy. Looks like they've got some storerooms. Some kind of a party room.
Ah, well, this is a very unique place. The smell of stupor and vice reign as its masters.
You're not wrong. We should search this place. It seems that someone forgot their earring.
Ugh, here is an object of more than questionable taste. A woman from a good family would never wear it. It's junk. The kind of thing a courtesan would wear.
And what do we have over here?
For goodness sake, this room reeks of alcohol.
And not just any old alcohol, if my nose does not deceive me. Cornelia always had great taste when it came to drinking. We are here at the heart of human depravity. Outrageous luxury, excessively priced alcohol, obvious debauchery.
Surely this is enough to incriminate the Mother Cardinal.
No, my child. These things are common in certain circles, even in Thélème, unfortunately. Cornelia may well have organized these things for others. These parties might be of use in gaining some political favor. We must find out who is involved and learn more. We should continue searching. Perhaps we missed something.
Maybe we did miss something. The back room. Mother Cardinal Cornelia's account book. This account book lists the loans made from a money lender called the Magpie. For every expense, there is a corresponding money input which cancels it. The sums are astronomical. However, there's no mention of where this money comes from. There's also many reoccurring payments to a certain candy cane.
This document is highly important. By reading it carefully, you could learn a lot. The Mother Cardinal apparently borrows large amounts of money from a moneylender. Actually, enormous sums.
What's more, she does so quite regularly. How does she manage to give it all back?
And the name Candy Cane crops up several times. Quite suspicious, don't you think?
This sweet person must be doing her huge favors to get these sums. I think we have everything we need. There is probably a connection between these pleasure parties and the account books. Let's ask a few questions.
The moneylender is well established. He can be found near the main square. As for this Candy Cane, the name doesn't ring any bells to me, but the moneylender must know more about him.
Let's go see what more we can uncover here. I feel like we're really going above and beyond. Seems a little excessive for not much gain, but maybe there's something we're failing to understand about the value that's being created here. We'll make our first stop the moneylender. We'll follow the money first. It probably just leads back to the other potential trails to follow. Just in case it's a little more interesting, though, we'll hit it first. The old Magpie. Hello there, Magpie.
Can I help you?
Yes, actually. I have a small favor to ask.
You don't look like you need money from me.
I know that you know the Mother Cardinal. She borrowed money from you on several occasions. I want to know why.
Where did you find that out? Who told you?
I want to know why she borrows money from you.
Lending money is my job. It's not illegal. And I don't have to give you an answer.
I imagine that the name Candy Cane rings a bell.
Obviously. All of San Mateus knows that name.
Can you tell me about him?
I don't know him personally. We've never been introduced. But rumour has it that he often hangs out in the basement at the Coin Tavern.
Why is the Cardinal borrowing money from you, and how does she pay you back so quickly?
I have no idea. And to be honest, I don't care in the slightest. All I can do is assure you that she's not helping herself to the city funds, if that's what you're thinking.
How could you possibly know that?
Because San Mateus is rich, but not that rich. With a Cardinal, we're talking about astronomical amounts.
And what's Candy Cane's role in all of this?
I don't know. I really have no dealings with him. We have never met, and I have no desire to. He and the Cardinal have a connection, but I just lend money. I have nothing to do with him. My advice to you is don't get involved. Those two are dangerous.
I would advise you to keep all of this to yourself.
I don't want any trouble. I will be as silent as a stone.
Next on the list, we're going to go and see if we can't get some information from the prostitute at the party. They are going to know things. Or at least haven't witnessed the things that maybe they might not at first think are relevant. But might actually be quite useful. And we've got their earring, and who wants to have one of a set of earring? You know, you want the matching set, not, you know, part of the matching set. So it'd be nice to be able to just return that. Man, this city is tricky. It's all dead ends and 90-degree angles. There's the innkeeper. Probably need to go down a floor. Coin Guard Barracks. Very unusual. The back room here, excuse us.
There are too many of you for me alone, my little lambs.
Sorry, madam, but we're here to ask other favors of you. This question might seem a little surprising, but do you know who this earring might belong to?
Why? It's mine. I lost it when... How did you get hold of it?
Are you sure you want to broach that subject here?
You're right. Come with me. Well, what do you want? Why are you giving me back my earring?
You know where we found it, don't you?
Obviously. I realized as soon as I got back that I'd lost it.
I imagine your pimp does not know that you take part in these parties. He doesn't dabble in this at all?
No. Do not say anything to him, I beg you. He's on my case enough as it is.
Then I suggest you answer my questions.
What would you like to know?
Do you know who organizes these parties?
Not really, no. A steward pays me when I go, but I don't see anyone else, apart from the clients.
You can't even give me a single name.
No. The only person who sometimes speaks to this steward is a woman who is always wearing a green coat. She never takes part in the festivities, but the steward rushes over whenever she arrives.
Could you tell us who you saw at the parties?
Rich people, or better. They seemed very rich and important to me, but I don't know them.
Do you think that an important person from Teleme could have partaken in these soirees?
You're thinking of Mother Cardinal, aren't you? You lot really think we are a bunch of degenerates.
You're hardly a shining example of virtue, my child. Just answer our questions.
Sorry, Father, I don't know the Mother Cardinal, but I strongly doubt she dabbles in that.
You don't think you could recognize her, and you don't think you've crossed paths. What a testimony. Admit it, you must know more than you're letting on. It's virtually impossible not to recognize someone while being so close to these influential people, wouldn't you agree?
Well, I was able to recognize someone, once. Even with a mask on, I'm good at recognizing my clients.
Please continue. I'm all ears.
I don't want to implicate anyone, but he is of no real importance, and you've probably never even heard of him. It's the local moneylender.
I know very well who you're referring to, my dear.
But I didn't mention anything to you, huh? This stays between us.
I don't even remember the subject of this conversation anymore. This woman in the green coat. Could you tell me about her?
She always hides her face and never joins us. Then she disappears into a little office and locks the door.
I see. She is quite important then. Do you know someone who goes by the name of Candy Cane?
Everyone does. He is a powerful person, so his name makes the rounds.
Have you ever spotted him at these pleasure parties?
In all honesty, I wouldn't even be able to recognize him. I've heard his name before, but that's all.
Thank you for your help.
Be sure not to mention this to anyone. I'd lose my clients if they suspected me of speaking about them, you know.
There's apparently a bookmaker. I wonder if they mean to say bookkeeper. Right around here somewhere. 5 meters away somehow. Maybe they're above us? There we go. Let's talk to the fight organizer, apparently. We heard you know something about that candy cane.
Even though I would prefer it wasn't the case. He's a sort of organizer. He captures most of the beasts who fight in the arena.
How is that a problem?
Apparently, he's fixed a few fights. These kind of rumors aren't good for my business.
If that's the case, why don't you stop him?
He has friends, protectors. Without solid evidence, no one will lift a finger. And the only ones who wanted to speak of his cartel have disappeared.
Do you know where I can find him?
He often hangs out around the port at night, but I strongly advise you to stay away from the guy.
I know how to look after myself. Thanks for the information. Has the Mother Cardinal ever come here to place bets?
The Mother Cardinal? And why not Saint Matthias himself while you're at it?
Let's talk to the tavern owner before. He's got to see a lot of people coming in and out. He's got to have some idea of what's going on around here.
Can I get you anything?
They've reused this character's face who we're talking to a couple of times, so I keep thinking we're seeing the same character again. My mistake. This is just a reskinned character. This is maybe the 5th time. I think third time in the series.
What can you tell me about a certain candy cane?
Candy cane? Everyone speaks about him or has heard of him, but no one really knows him.
And what do they say about him?
Here, nothing. You need to go downstairs for that sort of thing.
To the games room and the brothel?
Yes, that's more the kind of place where they'd talk about him.
I'm looking for a woman who comes here. She always wears a long green coat.
Yes, I have seen this coat before, but I have no idea who is beneath it, if that's what you're asking. All I know is that I've seen her speaking to a regular, a steward of the palace who comes to place big orders. Always prime choice.
I have to go. I will leave you to your work. I'm looking for someone. A woman wearing a big green coat.
Yeah, I know who you mean. She's a good client. She comes in, especially for the big fights, and she has prime information.
Do you know where I can find her?
No, I don't even know her name.
She wouldn't happen to be coming back to collect some winnings, would she?
No, and I can't really tell you when she'll show up next.
How do you see things, my child?
I think that the usurer is lending money to the Cardinal, and very significant sums at that. With this money, she bets on the arena fights while hiding in a big green coat. And she also gives large amounts to a certain candy cane, known for fixing fights.
Not only does our dear Cornelia love betting games, but she also wouldn't think twice about cheating to win.
This has really been a tricky quest. A lot of, like, jumping through hoops to get to this moment here. I'm hoping this conclusion we're coming up on, assumedly, is satisfying. It is officially night. Hopefully we can find the old candy cane. Oh, look, it's the coin guard. What are the odds, huh?
Good evening. Are you the one they call Candy Cane?
Who are you?
De Sardet, legate of the merchant congregation.
A legate, no less. I imagine in these cases, the one accompanying you is the famous Petrus.
You seem to be very well informed. Therefore, you might be able to answer my question. What do you know about a woman in a green coat?
Why would I tell you?
We know that you have business with this woman, and that she is actually the Mother Cardinal.
How did you... You would be better off forgetting that.
That's not exactly the response I'd imagined. But nevertheless, seems rather eloquent.
I told you to forget about it, or you'll soon run into trouble. Legate or no legate.
Come on, it was just an innocent little conversation. Goodbye, Mr. Kane.
Bye. And Godspeed.
We have enough information.
Really? Is the fact that she bets on fights that are potentially fixed enough for you?
It's already a huge scandal. Let me just think about it for a little while.
Okay.
I will find a way of putting this information to good use.
Interesting. So there's clearly a separate faction here inside this group that do not get along. Oh my goodness. There's clearly more than one faction inside the Telemay. So the Coin Guard are mercenaries. Even though Kurt has been assigned to our family, I'm not sure that he's actually... He might be loyal to us for reasons, but I'm not sure that Kurt... I think Kurt's a member of the Coin Guard, and I think they're a mercenary company. But I think that's the extent of their power, which is why we kind of see them pop up all over. Clearly, though, there's more than one faction in the Telemay, as we've got this father... What is this?
May the Enlightened protect me in this battle.
We had a big boss health bar, but there's no boss. Oh, bandits, okay. Oh, there we are. Got the big boy here. Please. Hello there, sir. Let's go ahead and switch our weapon. Oh, a big jump. Try and take out the shields. Go. No problem. Yeah, somehow Petrus here represents a different faction. No more armor. Got him now. Whoa, boy. We've got him now. That knockdown's very intimidating. You can understand why the Inquisition would be here going, you know, he's telling me, guys, there's some bad monsters out there. Come on. Gotcha. Come on. Your days are up, big boy. We took down the Wood Guardian, Horn of the Forest King. A little sad. A little sad. Says he's over this way. Oh, he's in a different region. Okay. Somewhere we have not been before. There we go. Been trying to figure out. Thought I heard something. I did. Oh, they're sleeping. I've been trying to figure out what team we do the most damage with. I'm just not sure. But the healing we get from Siora is nice, so I kind of want to keep her. Even though we can heal ourselves, I still feel like having that second healer is just really nice because it just lets us kind of go all in on the fights. We don't have to worry too much about. You have discovered the Blacklands. You need to make it over the Father Lustinius. First name Lust, last name Ineus. I don't know why these are called the Blacklands. It's a new zone. Looks like a nice enough spot. Checking the map, see if we want to go right or left. Got some trees. The morning is the sun is rising. It's gonna be a good day today. Oh, there's some beasties over there, but we'll let them live their life for a minute. See what else we can find around here. I was hoping for a campsite. Those make me happy. Oh, I think these birds are going to jump us. I wonder if we can crouch sneak by them. One's there up in the tree. Hold on, are we on the right way? Maybe. Does it work? They've only ever just, like, clobbered us. So you can crouch by them. Very cool. I mean, assuming you're looking up and happen to notice them. Oh, there's a little house up here. Okay. Got a stag with a nice rack. Love that. Oh, wow. More than a house. This is quite an... wow. Okay. Contracts. What would you call this place? Huh. Who are we in fight with? Oh, these guys? Hello there. Just a little warm-up fight, little welcome to our town. These people are super isolated out here. I know I've said that a few times, but we just keep running into more and more places that are, you know, proper frontier. I mean, they are just out here.
What an astounding place.
My mother told me about this place. She said that the village was devoured by the houses of the Suns. How could their chief accept this?
All that's left to do is to find Father Justinius.
Oh, it's Justinius. It's an I, not an L. Okay. Well, you know what? He just got a little less interesting, and we're not going to try and hold it against him, okay? The old Justi is up this way. Houstonidius. That's what you get for capitalizing an L and an I the same way. My goodness. This is cool. They've got a well. I think this thing actually has water. Rocks. It's a rock well. I've never seen one of these before. Hello. Okay. Yep.
Welcome to Eden, the lighthouse of faith, harmony, and civilization in these wild lands.
Thank you. Desade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Father Justinius. Delighted. And what may I do for you?
The Mother Cardinal has asked me to investigate the theft of these tablets you discovered.
That's excellent news. The loss of the tablets is a catastrophe. We have to find them at all costs. If you want to learn more about these tablets, you should go ask Sister Eugenia. She supervises the theologians who discovered them, and were also guarding them. You should find her a bit further in the village, with her colleagues.
Who are the suspects of this theft?
The heretical brutes of the village of Vedlug most likely had a hand in this. They must have wanted to please the demons they worship by stealing the holy word from us.
How could they have learned of the tablet's existence?
Perhaps the demons are giving them this power. Unless one of the natives living in the village innocently mentioned them. They are so naive. Either way, I am certain that the heretics are involved in this matter.
I wonder how my people could accept the priests settling in their home like this.
It all seems a bit too convenient. If we find out some information about the history of Eden, maybe we'll change our view on things.
I love that line. It's obviously the heretics. Right. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Of course. Quick question. How did this village come to be?
Tell me about how you created this village.
We did not create it from the ground up. It was built around an existing native village. The islanders called it Vixenagad, which translates to the village of the old sage. We saw it as a sign. The natives had probably chosen this name in memory of Saint Matthias, and everything here fit the description of St. Lucius. The discovery of the tablets proved us right. So we decided to rebuild our Eden here, in the spirit of peace and harmony which is described in the scriptures.
In the spirit of peace and harmony. Okay. What about the snake?
Why share this village with the natives?
To replicate and resume the work of our founder, of course. If he came here and managed to convert the natives, then it is our duty to do the same thing. By living side by side with them, it is much easier for us to pass on our teachings.
How well do you get along with the natives who live here?
Very well, of course. Especially since those who opposed our presence left.
Left? To go where?
Oh, to other villages, I imagine. Does it even matter? Those who stayed are on the path of enlightenment. Some of their legends must have been about Saint Matthias. That helped to convince them.
And how well have neighboring villages welcomed you?
With some reluctance, to be perfectly honest. So, we sent them missionaries. There are still frequent conflicts with the village of Vedlug, a highly violent village of heretics. But the other villages, the more peaceful ones, are slowly starting to listen to the sacred word.
There are no Onol Manawi and no warriors here either. Did they all leave?
Perfect harmony takes time, my child. I have no doubt that one day we will manage to convince your kind to convert. But, in the meantime, we must settle for the miracle of great coexistence that this place already represents. Nobody thought we could live side by side with your people. And yet...
I don't like the way this guy talks about your people, your species. Oh, we got rid of the troublemakers. Where'd they go? Oh, does it even matter? Yeah, you just took over someone's village. Just hiding behind these smiles like... Obviously, this is the way things should be, can't you tell? No, this seems like maybe not the way things should be. It definitely seems like they're just a nasty bunch. It's one thing to share what you believe, and it's another thing to say, you disagree, you die, or I'm taking all your stuff. I don't know, like, these guys are just not, they're not on the side, they're not a force of good in the world, even if some good happens in spite of what they do. So we've met some other villages, and generally this type of hut is where the chief lives. So I'm hoping that this is a ranking member in the locals who can give us a better insight.
I am Lair, the village leader. Well, I was the leader of this village.
Hello, Desade. I am the legate of the merchant congregation.
There are Onol Manawi among the Logead Blau. I did not know that. What do you want from me?
I've heard a lot of things about this village of Eden, but I'd like to hear your version.
I'm not sure I have the answers to all of your questions, but I'll try.
Tell me about the arrival of the people of Teleme, and how you received them.
The priests were roaming around the village. They were saying that it was the place where their saint had lived. They were asking questions, talking about the Lloyd and all these things. One morning they were building houses next to ours. And we had new neighbors.
The priests told me that they had managed to convert you. How did that happen?
As long as we refused to listen to them, they were violent, and they destroyed some of our sanctuaries. So we let them talk. And now that they think that we love their god, they leave us alone. Some of the things they say are beautiful, and their magic is impressive. But we do not forget our spirits.
One of the theologians told me that you had helped them in their research.
They wanted to find tracks of the old sage, of the one they call Saint Matthäus, and they were rummaging through everything. Our Donegad did not want to tell them anything, because the old sage is sacred here. But since they violently interrogated everyone, I thought it wise to guide them to the place where the stones were.
What happened to your warriors? Why did they have to leave the village?
They did not accept the presence of the priests and their questions. They tried to retake the village. They even asked Deirdre, the chief of Vedlug, for her help. So, the priests called the Soul Lasser, the Burning Suns, and they killed many of them. We asked for peace, and the others left us. They wanted to join Vedlug. Perhaps they have done so.
Aren't you angry after all that happened?
No. I mourn those who died, of course, and the Vorstyrent. But this village may be our opportunity.
Your opportunity for what?
For the Renaigse to understand who we are. Not savages, nor monsters, but men, perhaps wiser than they are.
Seems like we're still missing a piece of this story. Interesting that he knew right where the stone tablets were. He's like, they came here, we showed him where the tablets were, whatever. All right, well.
The Mother Cardinal asked me to help you find the tablets that were stolen. Can I ask you some questions?
Of course. But hurry, I have a lot to do.
I talked to Father Justinius. He told me that you were supervising the theologians here.
Indeed. It is under my supervision that the research on Saint Matthäus is conducted.
Whom do you suspect of being the thief?
Oh, alas. I'm afraid there are many suspects. These tablets are priceless relics. Some settlers may have fallen prey to the lure of profit. The heretical natives of Vedlug may have wanted to take them away from us, or it could have been vengeance by those who had to leave the village.
I imagine someone was keeping watch over them.
Of course, we took turns guarding the shack. But some of us can't have taken the task that seriously. If I remember correctly, it was Brother Virgil who was guarding them that night.
Where were the tablets the night they were stolen?
We were keeping them in one of the village's shacks. We intended to bring them to San Matthäus later. But first, we wanted to examine them in order to obtain as much information as possible. You can go and take a look in the shack if you want to, but I couldn't find any traces of forced entry.
Well, thank you for these pieces of information.
I am the one who should be thanking you. Especially if you managed to retrieve the tablets for us.
The Mother Cardinal told me that this village had been developed on the basis of St. Lucius's writings. Are you one of the theologians who helped in its creation?
Yes. I was sent here to confirm that this place is indeed the one described in the writings, and then I stayed.
What was the reaction of the natives when you arrived here?
Most of them were not in favor of us living amongst them. They were afraid we might chase them out of their own village. And there were even more protests once we started talking about searching for traces of Saint Matthäus. I suppose they thought we would destroy all of their raised stones and other places of superstition.
Were there any confrontations with the natives?
Yes. The warriors of the village attacked us. The Ordo Luminous actually had to intervene. The Inquisition managed to make them run away. The islanders tried to attack again with the support of Vedlug, but we stood our ground. And when Lur, the chief of the village, finally accepted our presence, things calmed down.
Thank you. This information will certainly prove to be useful.
I feel like we're here so late after events. A lot of this just doesn't matter. Like, oh, there's no sign of forced entry. Okay, but we've been here. Like, by the time it gets all the way to the Mother Cardinal and she asks us to look into it, like, the evidence is hidden.
I'm handling the investigation into the theft of the tablets. Sister Eugenia told me to talk to you.
I'm Brother Virgil. What would you like to know?
According to your colleague, you were the one in charge of guarding the tablets on the night of the theft. Is that right?
Indeed.
What can you tell me about that night? Did you hear or see anything?
No, nothing in particular. The night was quiet, and then the morning after, we saw they were gone.
Someone had to enter the shack to steal the tablets. How did that happen?
I have no idea. The door was closed in the morning, and the lock was intact.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Not really. What I can tell you for sure is it is not one of us.
Well, Sister Eugenia did tell me that the tablets were priceless.
Of course. But our motivation is not the lure of profit. All that matters to us is their value as proof, not the money we could make out of them.
Do you think the culprit could be a native?
Well, since none of us did it, it seems obvious. There aren't many other settlers around here, and the natives knew of the existence of these tablets before we found them. They were attached to them too, in their own way.
They are the ones who led you to them.
Well, we conducted the research, but they helped us find where they were hidden. Some inhabitants of the village are still giving us a hand with our work.
Well, thank you. I will investigate where the theft took place.
As you wish. But you won't find anything there. And why does it matter, anyway? There were witnesses to the discovery of these tablets. We have all the proof we need. And that's all that matters.
What do you mean?
Now we can prove Saint Matthias lived here. Our actions on this island are justified. To keep rummaging the way Sister Eugenia does will only create more tensions with the natives.
I was not expecting a theologian to say such things. Have you been in Eden for a long time?
2 months, approximately. Back then, there were still some pagan natives in the village. I joined Sister Eugenia's team with some of my colleagues, so we could give them a fresh outlook on things. We arrived straight from Ptolemy, hoping to study some new texts. But once we were here, I understood that my real mission was with the islanders. We must bring the light to this island.
You talked about a mission with the natives. What did you mean by that?
I may be under the command of Sister Eugenia here, but my superior is Bishop Domitius. Our mission is to banish pagan cults and convert the entire population to the light. The island belongs to Saint Matthias, and therefore to Ptolemy, since the god of light offered it to our founder.
If your superior's Domitius, you are a member of the Ordo Luminis. I did not expect to find one of its members side by side with the missionaries. They usually do not get along.
The Order goes everywhere the light needs to be revealed.
You have a very unique way of seeing things. I doubt everyone accepts it. How are your relations with the natives?
When I arrived, we were still trying to obtain information from them about Saint Matthias, but they were very reluctant to give us any answers. We were also trying to educate them. Our attempts eventually made some of the inhabitants of the village react badly. Most stubborn against our teachings, the warriors, and the marked. The ones the natives call the Onomanawi. They eventually left, and it has proved nothing but a blessing for us. I would like to go back to work now, if you don't mind.
Of course. I will leave you to your work. Goodbye. I knew that the story would be more complex than we'd been told.
The priests separated this village into 2 parts. The exiles must be broken-hearted, having left their clan behind.
Had they been wiser and accepted their new neighbors, they'd never have been forced to leave.
Either way, the resentment here is strong enough for a theft to occur.
Man, there are way too many factions and groups involved in this whole mess. Just way too many. Oh, this is the missionary quarters. I thought this is where the tablets were being kept or something. No, they were in this other identical looking little building. Okay. None of this adds up. Let's be clear here. Him. Obviously, we care more about the tablets than the money they represent. That might be true for him, but not everyone who's a part of his group. And then he's another faction inside of it. And his logic of, well, since we don't care about money, just the proof of our righteous claim to these lands, yeah, that matters to you, but not everyone in your church.
There is only one entrance and the door shows no evidence of a break-in.
This priest, Virgil, said that the night was calm. So calm that he probably fell asleep. So, the thieves only had to take the key from him.
It's very likely that that's what happened, but someone must have informed them. It can't be a coincidence that they decided to steal it during the watch of the only neglectful guard.
You think that the one who told them is in this village?
We know that this theft could be an act of vengeance by the natives who were forced to leave here. They must still have allies in the village, family or friends. We should go talk to the chief of the natives. He will certainly know who is close to the exiles. and enough about the researchers to inform them.
Because we don't know the motive of who stole the tablets, we don't know who stole them. If it was for money, we'd look in one direction. If it was because the native people believed that these tablets were their sacred objects, well, then it'd be the natives. You know, like, it's unclear. Maybe it's the science faction just to mess with the religious faction. Who's like, ha, you think you have a right to these lands because of those tablets? The tablets are gone. No tablets. Never existed. Haha. Like, we just don't know who did it. We really don't know.
You have returned on Almanawi. Do you need something else?
I think I know who stole the tablets.
Really?
I believe those who were exiled from your village seek vengeance because the missionaries forced them to leave. They must have taken the tablets with the help of someone else who stayed here. You do well to tell me what you know. Once the priests have reached the same conclusions as I have, how do you think they will interrogate you?
You're probably right. The Inquisitors would come back, and my people would suffer. I do not want to break the peace that I did all I could to make. I think the name of the woman you are looking for is Vindwal. She helps the priests who seek the old sage.
If she's helping the priests, why would she betray them now?
Her son is one of the warriors who had to leave the village. He is filled with anger and fury. If you go talk to her, please, do not hurt her. She is but a mother who acted according to her son's wishes.
I have no intention of hurting her.
It was interesting that he said, the Inquisitors will come back to hurt my people and destroy the peace I've worked so long to create for them. AKA, it wasn't all sunshine and kumbaya around the campfire around here. My goodness.
Greetings. Are you Vindwal?
Bertia Tumad. Yes, that is me.
What can you tell me about Lair, your former leader?
He is a man of peace. Some people dislike him, not me. Everything he did to save the village. But I think the mind shakers made him forget what we are. He almost speaks like them now.
I know you helped the exiles to steal the tablets of St. Matthias.
No, this is not true. It wasn't me.
There's no point in denying it. I know you did it for your son who had to leave the village.
If you know that, then you know that I don't have the tablets. So what do you want from me?
The only means of alleviating the situation with Thélème is to give the priests their tablets back. So, if you don't want your son to suffer their wrath, it would be best if I could retrieve them discreetly.
Bran and the rest of the exiles are hiding in the woods, beyond the stone circle. If you want to take the tablets away from them without being seen, do not take the path on the left. It is riddled with traps. And please, do not hurt my son.
It's a little unclear to me what our options are actually going to be. Get to these tablets. I really hope we have a chance to destroy them. I think that would be an interesting outcome. We're getting close to what might be the hidden path.
The exiles must be near.
These people have been banished already. There's no need to add death to their list of punishments. Let's try not to fight them.
Don't worry, we'll be discreet.
What are you doing here?
I'm not here to fight you.
Look at his horns.
But I must retrieve the tablets of St. Matthias.
What? How do you know we have them? And how? Not for thee. We will not give them back. We lost our homes and families, so the priests lose their sacred stones.
I know that you are seeking vengeance, but the priests will not be the only ones to suffer the consequences of your actions. Your mother helped you, and once they find out about it, she will pay the price in your place. Is that what you want?
No. She only told us which night we could come. They have no right to punish her for this.
I doubt the Ordo Luminous will care. They will need someone to take the blame, and she's the obvious choice.
Very well. Take the stones and leave. All that's left to do is to rejoin the Donea Exregao.
This might have been the best possible outcome, but still, doesn't necessarily bring me a lot of joy. Man, I hope these tablets aren't too heavy. Or booby-trapped. Alright, we've got the tablets. We need to bring them back. Can we read them by any chance? Like, are they in our inventory proper that we could interact with them? Tablets, writings engraved by St. Matthias, speaking of his life with the natives. They've been stolen. Okay. I was hoping there's more to them, but that's all right. Is this the mom confronting us here?
What are you doing here?
I was worried for my son. I wanted to make sure that everything was fine.
Don't worry, all is well. I managed to convince him to give me the tablets.
Ad Loredar, I did not believe my son to be so reasonable. You are giving me hope. I will go see him and tell him to find another clan. A place to welcome him.
+1 reputation with the natives. Cool. This isn't really the happy ending I wanted. I understand we were able to prevent more bloodshed. And maybe that was the biggest win we could have gotten. But I wish we had another option for these tablets. Could we pass them off to the science people? Could we have destroyed them? Could we have sold them? I think that would have been a little more interesting of a way that this could have developed.
I retrieved your relics.
Thank you. Thank you immensely. Thanks to them, we will be able to continue our research on St. Matthias.
I am curious to know who is responsible for this theft. The culprit must be brought to justice.
I do not want to point the finger at anyone. You have your relics back, and that's the only thing that matters.
Your indulgence honors you. But how can we be certain that these thieves will not strike again if they are not punished?
A good start would be to keep a better watch on the priceless treasures that you find.
Had you respected this village, you would not have to look for a culprit. You settled here without even asking those who lived here for their opinion on the matter. Instead of talking about harmony, start taking action to really make it happen.
But that is precisely what we desire more than anything. We may have been a bit clumsy in the beginning, but we'll make sure to improve things in the future. You really were a great help. I would be most grateful if you agreed to continue helping us.
I might come back at some point, but alas, I'm very busy.
Naturally. Either way, we are certainly capable of continuing our research without you.
Actually, I must go back to my work. Our next expedition must depart as soon as possible.
Your next expedition?
Our brave researchers must continue to follow the tracks of our founder on this island. In the meantime, here, take this as a token of gratitude for the help you gave us.
Thank you. I hope your expedition will be a success.
I like having these two companions with me. I like Petrus, who seems to be an okay guy. I like how he represents someone who's a little older, part of a different organization than us. And I like having the little younger native of the lands here and someone who's indigenous, right? She grew up here. She was here first. I like having them here for that kind of the variety of opinions and views and thoughts and differences that can bring up. I think that's really nice.